Or ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. Let's talk about something both simple and profound, love. Specifically, why women fall in love with a man. Or you've probably seen the title that brought us together, Women Fall in Love with You Only for Two Reasons. Now, that's a bold statement. It sounds limiting or even provocative, but let's dig deeper because beneath the surface, it reveals something powerful. So what are these two reasons? Reason number one, or how you make her feel about herself, and reason number two, how you make her feel about you when it comes to love, attraction, and the emotional bonds that hold people together. Or one of the most profound truths is that people rarely fall in love with someone simply for who they are. They fall in love with how they feel around that person. And for women especially, this emotional connection is deeply rooted in how a man makes her feel about herself. It's not about flattery or charm, and it certainly isn't about manipulation. It's about the emotional experience you create when you're present. How your words, your energy, and your behavior either build her up or quietly tear her down. At the core of it, every human being seeks emotional safety, not the kind of safety that keeps them in a comfort zone, but the kind that allows them to open up, to be vulnerable, or to be themselves without fear of rejection or ridicule. For a woman, falling in love often starts when she feels seen, heard, and understood in your presence. Or she doesn't want to feel like she has to earn your attention by being someone she's not. She wants to be appreciated not for the mask she wears in public, but for the raw or honest, complicated version of herself that most people never get to see. When a man listens, truly listens, to her thoughts, opinions, and stories without rushing to fix things or make it about himself, he creates a space where she feels valued, not just heard, but actually felt, and that connection is powerful. It tells her who you are matters. What you think matters, you matter. That kind of emotional presence is rare and it's unforgettable. It's also about how you react to her vulnerabilities. When she opens up about her fears, her past, her insecurities, those moments are not invitations for judgment or correction or unsolicited advice. They're tests of your capacity for empathy. If you respond with care, if you hold space for her without trying to change her, you're saying something loud and clear, you're safe with me. And emotional safety, more than anything, is the foundation of deep connection. But making her feel good about herself isn't just about being a good listener or offering emotional support. It's also about the subtle, consistent ways you affirm her value. Do you notice the little things she does? The way she lights up when she talks about her passions, the effort she puts into things, or the ideas she shares that others may overlook. When you take the time to recognize those things, you show her that she's not invisible, that she's not just another face in the crowd, but someone unique and worthy of attention. And perhaps more importantly, it's about how you respond when she doubts herself. We all have moments of insecurity, but when a woman feels uncertain about her body, her career, her choices, or her worth, how you respond speaks volumes. If you dismiss her feelings, try to cheer her up with cliches, or make it about your own ego, you shut the door on real intimacy. But if you reassure her with honesty, with tenderness, and with truth, reminding her of who she is, and showing her that she doesn't have to be perfect to be loved, that's when trust begins to form. There's a difference between boosting someone's ego and genuinely uplifting their spirit. The former is fleeting, the latter lasts. A man who makes a woman feel confident, not because he tells her what she wants to hear, but because he believes in her even when she doesn't believe in herself, that man becomes unforgettable. Sometimes, it's not even about what you say, but about how you see her. If you see her as just another pretty face, she'll feel it. If you see her as someone to conquer, she'll feel that too. But if you see her as a whole person, intelligent, complex, imperfect, evolving, and you treat her as such, you give her room to breathe, and in that space, she finds herself drawn to you in a way that's not just emotional, but almost spiritual. A woman falls in love with a man who helps her love herself, or not in a superficial Instagram quote kind of way, but in a deep soul level sense. When she's around you, does she feel more powerful, more grounded, or more in tune with who she really is? Or does she feel like she has to shrink, perform, or compete for your attention? Or a woman remembers the man who made her feel like she could do anything, not because he handed her that power, but because he reminded her it was always there. Or she remembers the man who respected her boundaries, who celebrated her individuality, who encouraged her dreams even if they had nothing to do with him. Or that kind of support is rare, and rare things are treasured, but none of this works if it's not genuine. You can't fake respect, or you can't pretend to care and expect someone not to feel the emptiness behind your words. Or a woman's intuition will pick up on your intentions, so if you're only kind to get something in return, she'll know. But if you're kind because that's who you are, or because you see her worth and want to honor it, that truth will radiate in everything you do. In the end, it's not about being perfect, or it's not about saying all the right things or always knowing what to do. It's about showing up with honesty, consistency, and heart. Or it's about making her feel like she matters, not just to you, but to the world. And when a woman feels that way in your presence, when she feels beautiful, capable, or respected and emotionally alive, love begins to take root. Not because you forced it, not because you played a game, but because you reminded her of her own light, and gave her the freedom to shine. That's how women fall in love, when they feel better, stronger, freer, and more themselves around you than they do without you. Or it's not about changing her, it's about being the kind of man who reflects back the very best of who she already is. And that kind of love, it doesn't fade. Or when it comes to love and emotional connection, much has been said about the importance of how a woman feels about herself when she's around a man. But equally significant, sometimes even more so, is how she feels about you. A woman doesn't fall in love simply because of what you say, what you do, or what you own. Or she falls in love because of how you make her feel when she looks at you, listens to you, learns from you, and watches how you move through the world. Or it's not about surface level attraction, it's about the emotional experience you create within her just by being who you are. Or a woman may be initially drawn to your appearance or your confidence, but lasting emotional connection depends on something much deeper, her ability to admire you. Or she needs to feel that you are someone worth trusting, someone who stands for something, someone who holds his ground with quiet strength and lives with purpose. Or she watches how you treat others, how you talk to people who can do nothing for you, how you handle adversity, and how consistent you are in your behavior. Or if there's a mismatch between your words and your actions, it breaks the emotional bridge before it's even built. But if you are consistent, if what you say matches what you do, she begins to see you as a man of integrity, and that's where real attraction starts to grow. Or how a woman feels about you is shaped by the energy you bring into her life. If you bring peace, not chaos, clarity, not confusion, strength, or not arrogance, she starts to feel emotionally drawn to you in a way that feels safe and grounded. Or she doesn't want a man who tries to dominate the world around him to make up for his own inner void. Or she wants a man who knows who he is, who has direction and moves through life with intention. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be rich, famous, or impressive to anyone else, but you do have to know yourself. Because if you don't know who you are, how can she ever feel secure building something real with you? Or she also watches how you handle pressure. Do you lash out when things don't go your way? Do you blame others? Or do you take responsibility and rise above the noise? Or a woman feels emotionally closer to a man who stays grounded when life gets messy, not emotionless but composed, not cold but clear. Or this doesn't mean you have to be some stoic, unreadable figure, but it does mean that your emotional maturity becomes part of what she respects about you. or emotional self-control is deeply attractive because it signals that you're not a slave to your impulses, that you can be trusted with her heart, her emotions, and even her vulnerability. Beyond strength and stability, a woman also wants to feel inspired by you. She doesn't need a superhero, but she wants to feel that being close to you makes her want to rise higher. She looks at your discipline, your curiosity, or your hunger to grow, and she begins to feel a desire to grow too. A man who is stagnant, who complains but doesn't evolve, or who makes excuses for why he isn't living the life he wants. He drains energy instead of giving it. But a man who's working on himself or who lives with a sense of mission, even if that mission is quiet or personal, that man lights a fire in her. It's not about how far along the journey you are, or it's about the fact that you're on it. Equally important is emotional availability. If you keep walls up, or if you always have to be the strong one and never show any depth, she will feel distant, even if you're right beside her. Women connect through emotional transparency. Or you don't need to pour out your soul on the first date, but you do need to let her see who you really are. That means being honest about your values, your struggles, or your fears and your dreams. Vulnerability doesn't make you weak, it makes you real. And when you show her that you're human, but still standing tall, she sees a man who can face life without hiding behind masks. That's rare, and that's magnetic. Or how you make her feel about you also comes down to how dependable you are. Do you do what you say you're going to do? Are you consistent in your energy and effort? Or do you come in strong and disappear the moment things require work? Reliability is not just about showing up on time, it's about being emotionally reliable too. Or can she count on you to handle difficult conversations with maturity? Can she trust that you won't vanish when she needs support? Or if she feels that you are emotionally present, not just during the good times, but especially when things get uncomfortable, then her view of you deepens. Or you're no longer just someone she likes, you become someone she respects. Respect leads to trust, and trust, when combined with emotional connection, is the foundation of love. Or when a woman feels like she can trust you, not just with facts or details, but with her heart, then she feels something deeper than attraction. She starts to believe in you, or she wants to be close to you. And not just physically, she wants to be emotionally close to you, to build something with you, to support you, and to be supported by you. Or it also matters how you treat her when she's not at her best. Anyone can be charming when things are easy, when the mood is light and everyone's happy. But how do you respond when she's tired, stressed, insecure, or struggling? If she feels like she still has your patience, your respect, and your steady presence even then, or she begins to feel emotionally safe with you, and that safety turns into intimacy. It's not about fixing her problems, it's about being there, being consistent, or not using her bad days as an excuse to pull away. What you believe about yourself plays a big role in how she feels about you. Or if you carry yourself like a man who knows he has value, not in a cocky or performative way, but with humble self-respect that radiates. Or a woman doesn't want a man who constantly needs to be validated. She wants a man who validates himself through his actions, through his mindset, through his quiet confidence. Or if you respect yourself, set boundaries, live with intention, and walk through life like you belong wherever you go, she will feel it. And that feeling becomes the foundation for something real. In the end, women fall in love, not just because of how good they feel, but because of how they feel about you. Or do they admire you? Do they trust you? Do they respect you, feel inspired by you, feel emotionally safe with you? That's what creates lasting love. Not games, not bravado, or not perfection, just the honest, grounded, self-respecting version of you that knows who he is and invites her into a space where she can see him clearly and choose him freely. And when a woman feels that about you, deep in her heart, not just in her mind, there's no pretending. That's when love becomes real.